Good morning all, this is Miss Sarah from New London County 4-H, and today is the first day of our 4-H Farm Tales summer program. We are super excited to be with you this year, and we hope that you'll join us throughout the summer to learn more about science and different farming systems. Today is our first build challenge of the year, and we will be making a 4-H windmill. Let's start by opening up our kits. You should find the following items: a small paper cup, a long thin straw, a shorter larger straw, 2 pieces of string, 2 rubber bands, and your farming connection card. You will find a farming connection card in each of your kits this summer, and these cards will teach you more about farming, agriculture, how you can support local agriculture, and how local agriculture helps you and your family. Our farming connection card for today talks about wind farms. As you'll learn, not all farms care for or grow animals and plants. Wind farms make important energy for us to use as electricity by harnessing the power of the wind. How many of you have ever seen a wind farm? In addition to the items in your kit, you will also find a large plastic cup and your paper pinwheel template. You will also need tape, a pair of scissors, and a few pennies or other small items that you'll be able to lift using your windmill. So let's get started. Our first step is going to be cutting out our paper pinwheel template. We're going to follow the gray lines to cut around the perimeter of this square, and then we're going to cut along the diagonals so that we have a pinwheel template. Now that we've cut out the perimeter and the diagonals of our paper pinwheel template, we need to cut holes in our template. We're going to be cutting 5 holes. The first is going to go in the center of our template along this gray dot. And then we're going to go every other corner so that we have 4 additional holes. So the first is going to go here. Then we're going to make one here. Right here, and our final hole will be right here. As you can see, there's 1 hole for each of the flaps. Now we can take our scissors and we can cut a small hole at each of our dots. You can use a hole punch, but I recommend using the scissors because sometimes the hole punch makes the holes a little bit too large for our use. So you can just fold the paper and cut a small triangle along the fold. Our next step involves our thin straw and one of our rubber bands. So we're going to go about here on our thin straw, and we're going to wrap our rubber band around the end of our straw. Now you want to make it tight enough so that the rubber band won't slide around too easily, but loose enough so that you'll be able to move it if necessary. Now that we've completed that step, we're going to start to thread our paper pinwheel onto our thin straw. So first we start with the middle, just like so. And now we can fold down each of our corners and place the corner using the hole we just made onto our thin straw. Okay, our next step involves the use of our second rubber band. So we're going to take our second rubber band and we're going to wrap it around the end of our thin straw in front of our paper pinwheel. Okay. Now you can shimmy those rubber bands around to make them the right width. You can give it a try, and if it spins, you're good to go. If you try your pinwheel and it doesn't spin, you could take this opportunity to move around your rubber bands until your paper pinwheel spins a little bit better. So sometimes they need to go in a little bit and sometimes they need to go out a little bit. But just to recap, we have our thin straw, we have one of our rubber bands, we have our pinwheel, and then we have our second rubber band. Now we will take our plastic cup and our large straw. We're going to put our large straw on the bottom of our cup, and then we're going to cut our straw so that it equals the diameter of the bottom of our cup, just like so. Then we can take our tape. We can tape down our straw to the bottom of the cup. Once we've completed that step, we're going to take our small paper cup and one of our pieces of string. And you're going to want to use the piece of string that is the shortest if there's any difference in the lengths. So once again, we're going to need our tape. We're going to tape the first side of the string onto the side of our cup. Like this. And then we can tape the opposite side to our cup as well. And you don't want your handle to be too tall, so just like so is fine. There we go, we have our little bucket. Now we're going to take our red cup base and our paper pinwheel on our thin straw, and we're going to insert the thin straw into the large straw so that it pulls through. Now we can take our second piece of string and we're going to tie it around the end of our thin straw. And we can secure that knot using a piece of our tape. Now we're going to take our bucket and we're going to tie the loose end of this string onto the handle of our bucket. Our windmills work best when the length of this string is around equal to the height of our paper cup. And now we can give it a try. I recommend holding down the plastic cup with your fingers so that it doesn't slide around on the table. If you're having trouble with your cup slipping off the end of your thin straw, you can add a little bit more tape so that there's less excess string. Now that I've added a little bit more tape to the end of my string, my windmill is able to lift my cup. As you can see, the wind is generated when I blow on the pinwheel, and the pinwheel spins. When our pinwheel spins, our axle spins, and our axle is our thin straw. When our axle spins, it winds the string that the cup is attached to, effectively lifting the cup. Now you can try this experiment using your penny or another small toy. Were you able to lift something in your little bucket? Tell us below in the comments. This wraps up our first 4-H Farm Tales build. We hope to see you on July 7th for our next build, which will be 4-H Monster Flowers. See you next time!